You're dealing with an addicted generation.
This is a big time bomb ticking.
This is no accident. Indeed, it is by design.
I mean, seriously?
It was my mistake.
I think we can all feel it.
To try to make these products as addictive as possible.
How big do you think your product or your service is?
Well, it's impossible to tell. When we first launched, we were hoping for, maybe 400, 500 people.
In 2004, students attending Harvard University wanted to find a way to connect with other students on campus. So a website called FaceMash was released. 2 days later, due to violations of university policy, FaceMash was taken down. But if you think that could stop college students, then you're wrong. Despite the small 2-day existence of FaceMash, 450 people voted over 20,000 times on FaceMash, leading Mark Zuckerberg to register the URL for the Facebook.com.
People have this deep thirst to understand what's going on with those around them.
With Facebook, it's almost like you can get these updates on what's going on in the family, what's going on with friends on a more real-time basis than getting it once a year.
The product doesn't work if you're not yourself.
After new improvements to the website in 2006, the Facebook was opened up to anyone over the age of 13. This allowed Zuckerberg to pull in more money as companies were using the Facebook as a way to market and advertise. In this same year, the first issue came about when the news feed was introduced. People did not have the ability to control what this news feed was showing them. So privacy became a serious problem.
The flaw of the internet's original design was that it didn't require authenticated identity.
If you've messaged anybody this week, would you share with us the names of the people you've messaged?
Senator, no, I would probably not choose to do that publicly here.
I think that may be what this is all about. Your right to privacy, the limits of your right to privacy, and how much you give away.
Facebook is failing to prevent harm to children. It's failing to prevent the spread of disinformation. It's failing to present hate speak. It does have the power to deal with these issues. It's just choosing not to, which makes me wonder whether Facebook is just fundamentally evil. Is Facebook evil?
It's not real.
You have to be really vigilant in making sure what's posted is true before you ever repost something.
As the users and the money continued to pour in, more and more issues were found but never solved. Things like censorship, privacy issues, and psychological and sociological effects have been seen over and over again in our society. It has become obvious how Facebook and social media has influenced our world negatively, but what about the positives?
It is time for us to adopt a new company brand to encompass everything that we do. To reflect who we are and what we hope to build, I am proud to announce that starting today, our company is now Meta.
Throughout the years, Zuckerberg learned his lesson and started to change things. But what changes are really happening in the technological world? Over years and years of research and development with Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg changed the name from Facebook to Meta. Meta refers to the term metaverse, which is the hypothetical iteration of the internet as a single, universal, and immersive virtual world.
These simulations are often created as fully immersive experiences.
This is all facilitated by the use of virtual reality and augmented reality headsets. Though Zuckerberg made virtual reality a big deal, this has been a work in progress for decades. In 1985, the first VR goggles and gloves were beginning to be sold, and from then on it only improved. Just a few years later, in 1989, NASA developed a real-time binaural 3D audio processing. In 2012, a Kickstarter campaign was released for the Oculus Rift, raising $2.4 million, and later in 2014, Facebook bought Oculus for $2 billion, causing the VR world to rapidly increase in momentum and popularity.
It's a platform for you to communicate with others and to experience anything with anyone, anywhere in the world.
By 2016, hundreds of companies were making their own version of augmented reality glasses, and in 2018, at the annual F8 conference held by Facebook, Oculus demonstrated the new headset prototype called the Half Dome. Soon after this event, Facebook released its standalone headset, the Oculus Quest. This headset created lots of interest and momentum and sold out in many locations. The Oculus Quest had brought in $5 million in content sales. Once Facebook saw how big of a hit this was, they continued to make more VR headsets, the next getting better each time. Just recently, Meta released the Meta Quest 3 in October of 2023, this one being the biggest hit yet, With more comfortability, storage, and power, people who are either upgrading or just getting into VR are buying the new headset with high hopes that are being met. When we look at Mark Zuckerberg's market capitalization as of February of 2023, Meta stood at a tremendous $479 billion US. As the numbers have shown, in the past 20 years of Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook and now Meta has only changed the American society, starting with a college student who wanted to make connections with others, to a society that is more connected now than ever before. Facebook started this, and Meta was created to continue it. Social media wouldn't have been the same without that college student, and I would argue social media as a whole would hardly be a thing without Facebook.